We're also following the case about an Ohio woman who is convicted of stabbing and bludgeoning her mother to death. She faces sentencing tomorrow. Sydney Powell.
Yeah, we watched this one, boy, unfold, and when she was found guilty, she was in tears. She faces 15 years to life in prison on the top counts. Let's get an update from Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter.
We, the jury in this case, do hereby find the defendant, Sydney Powell, guilty of the offense of murder as charged in count 1.
Sounds of Sydney Powell breaking down filled the courtroom as the jury's decision was being read.
Juror number 2, is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 3, is this your verdict?
It is.
Juror number 4.
The jury found Powell guilty of all charges: murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence.
The defendant's bond is revoked. She's remanded to the custody of the Summit County Sheriff.
Jurors rejected her claim that she was psychotic and not in touch with reality when she stabbed and bludgeoned her mother to death in March of 2020.
At the time of the offense, my diagnosis was schizophrenia.
3 mental health experts testified for the defense. All said she was insane at the time of the homicide and could not appreciate the wrongfulness of her actions.
My view was that she was completely out of her mind.
Dr. Anthony Smartnick, her treating psychiatrist, said Powell's symptoms are real and the medication he's prescribing is helping.
Pretending that one is mentally ill and pretending that for various gains, for various purposes. No time did I have that concern.
The legal test to find Sydney Powell not guilty by reason of insanity is twofold. First, jurors had to answer the question of whether Sydney was insane at the time of the crime, and second, whether she could appreciate the wrongfulness of her actions. And it was the answer to that second question that ultimately led to their verdict.
That eventually is what threw us over, because we couldn't, especially on that second piece, with the understanding that she was making up a story about somebody intruding. We couldn't get past that.
Prosecutors insisted that Sydney Powell did know right from wrong. They accused her of staging the crime scene after she broke a window in the back of their house where police found her mother's blood.
We heard a bang. We heard a bang. And she told me to get out. And then I heard screaming. No, I came back.
We didn't find those stories to be insane. She's obviously trying to cover up. There's no other thing that could be going on here. And after reading hundreds and maybe thousands of texts, she was a normal college kid that lost track of her way because she didn't like what she was doing in college, and lots of kids in college lose that structure and have a difficult time. She wanted to hide from her parents, and so she started down this lying street, and she couldn't get out. Apparently, didn't see a way out.
Sydney Powell is now going to be sentenced. That gets underway 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. We are going to bring that all to you here on Court TV.
Yeah, and again, 15 to life is the lowest sentence. The judge could go higher. It'd be interesting to see what the state wants here, what they're going to
We understand that her attorney is working now with the state to see if they are going to just recommend the minimum or if they are going to try and push for something more.
Yeah.
That could determine how many witnesses they call.
It'll change the complexity of that hearing. Lara Yaretzian is in Los Angeles. What do you think of this case? And Sydney Powell, you heard from the juror, they couldn't get over the cover-up of it where she lied after killing her mother. What should the judge do here?
I mean, the judge is going to take into consideration, obviously, what her family thinks. And the family seems to be very supportive. Listen, whether the jury believed if she was insane or not, at this point, we're past that, right? They decided she wasn't insane, but she clearly has some mental health issues. I mean, she loved her mom. Something should probably happen. She snapped. whatever her motivation was, clearly she snapped and she's got some issues. Now that she's on meds, she's doing better. The family is supportive of her, and the judge will take that into consideration. And my guess is the judge is going to, no matter what the prosecution recommends, the judge is going to end up giving her something that's going to be on the low end. I think that would be fair in a situation like this. And I understand what the jury did. I mean, it really is difficult to ignore some of the things that she did after the fact, but maybe the defense, and maybe they did argue this, could have said that she was kind of almost coming out of that psychosis, and it's at that point she realized, she snapped out of the psychosis and realized what she'd done at that point, that it was all wrong, and tried to cover it up. But at the moment, at the time of the actual murder or the killing, she was in psychosis and was insane.
Yeah, it was really fascinating to hear from that juror, to understand what was going on in that deliberation room. My question is about the parole board in this case, because really it's a life sentence, but she gets the opportunity for parole at 15 years, so they really become the sentencing body in this case. What all goes into an argument before a parole board once someone who's been incarcerated gets that opportunity?
I mean, she, while incarcerated, she's going to have to be the role model. Like, she's going to be that perfect inmate. That's going to be part of what they'll consider. I mean, one of the things that they're going to consider is, has she changed, from the kind of person she was to a much better human being, and they're going to have to see how she is on her meds. So there's all sorts of things that the parole board will consider, and they also need to take into consideration the safety and the security of the public, right? When you release someone like her, so there's a lot. That's 15 years down, or less than that, depending how much good time she gets, obviously, years down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. We shall see again tomorrow that hearing taking place.